The Talking Points with the Training Center starts now.
Hello, and thank you for joining Talking Points with the Training Center. I'm Dan Kabuling, owner of IDP Training and lead strength and movement coach in the Training Center. I'm joined by Ryan Ozella, Director of Player Development in the TC, and today we'll be introducing the California Suncats, the softball organization that we have partnered with. We're joined by James Jimenez, owner of the California Suncats, and one of his coaches, David Gutierrez, and he is the head coach for their 18U team. First off, thanks guys for hopping on the podcast with us. It's kind of been on the to-do list to get you on here and introducing you to, really everybody who's been listening. And I think one of the pieces of this podcast is enabling us to explain, like, how does everything work in the training center? Who are the Suncats? Is there softball lessons? Is there, how does this all work? So I think I'm excited to have you guys on and, kind of give some more clarity to how it all works in there. But James, do you want to kind of kick it off? Kind of give us your background, your role within the Suncats organization, and just kind of give us your experience as a coach.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having us here this morning and joining this podcast. We're really excited teaming up with the training center. And so with that said, a little bit about the Suncats. We founded our program back in, first of all, let me talk about myself. I've been coaching for about 17 years of girls softball. And I've always been a part of different programs or whatnot. And finally in 2015, we have broke off and that's when we founded the Suncats. The original Suncats team or program is founded in Tucson, Arizona with the Oro Valley Suncats. And we were the first squad from that umbrella and to be affiliated with the Oro Valley Suncats. And that's when we came over with California Suncats. So in 2015, that's when we started. I just remember when we first started, we had our 2019 class. It was basically the foundation of how it got started. We had a really talented group of kids in that 2019 class in 2015, and we just gave it a shot, man. We took a chance and we said, you know what, let's go out on our own. And the reason why we did that was because just our beliefs and our vision of what we're doing, it wasn't a right fit where we were at. So when we took a chance and we had really good coaches along with us, a lot of support, and we went and we started our brands, California Suncats. And I just remember we had a week in trying to schedule our tryouts, because tryouts, we decided to go off on our own on a Monday and we had tryouts on Saturday. And just getting the word out there using social media, that's when it started, getting really popular too. And we ended up forming 2 teams in 2015. So we're a fairly young program, going on our 5th year, but we're a very exciting program. We're very active. We have kind of like, one of those first loves where it's like we're excited to do things. We're always trying to be creative of learning and getting our brand out there in the softball community. So that's where we started 2015 and with 2 teams. And now we have I think we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams, 7 or 8 teams. So we've grown rapidly, really quick. And we have an awesome coaching staff too that supports the program. So, and admin staff as well. So that's pretty much it there.
Awesome. So, Dave, let's get your background, and I think you can obviously, speak to that first team, and we'll definitely probably bring that team up just because it is definitely a special group of players. But give us kind of your background, your experience, and kind of where you're at with the Suncats.
I've been coaching for about 12 years with different organizations over the years. But meeting James was probably in 2014, actually probably before that, 2013 in a Vegas tournament. We played against each other. He had a great team back then too. He always tends to put a great group of girls together. that was in the Las Vegas area when we played him. Came back and moved back to the Bay Area and gave him a call. And at that point, it was for my older daughter, who's now playing part of that original 2019, to join his squad. And it was a great decision for her, for us. And as basically went on, I continued to coach with James at the different teams that we started to put together. And here we are now with the California Suncats, because when I first joined them, it was, like you said, a different organization. And 2015, we were able to go out on our own and be where we're at now. So it's a good situation.
Awesome. And I think, that was one of the first kind of talking points that we wanted to go over, and we covered it really well as far as the starting of the program. Which, yeah, you guys are kind of in that sweet spot of, okay, we've got some years under our belt. We've got some a significant amount of coaching experience under our belt. Over that time, you've definitely developed a program philosophy. And as I've had the luxury of working with your players, it is very, very evident. And you guys also do an awesome job of creating that culture. So, James, what is the program philosophy? What is that mission? What is that vision? What do you want for your players and for your organization?
I think the three values, or the three things that we try to commit to, is number one, as a coaching staff in the program, is probably development. Is number one. Trying to develop our players, whether it's hitting, pitching, trying to connect them with the right resources like the training center or under our staff. We have a few coaches that do lessons under that. So the three components is development, is number one. Number two, conviction, and last but not least, winning. Always, playing the game to win. And when I say conviction, and that covers everything abroad, from everything from our programs. So that goes to having conviction when we practice, having conviction when we do our individual lessons, or every rep we take, having conviction the way we play the game the way it's supposed to be played. I'm a really true believer of playing the game the right way, of playing a 7-inning game, the way the game was designed. And then winning. We always play the game to win. The game was meant for a winner and a loser, and nobody wants to be on the losing side, and for sure we don't. And we put all three of those things collectively together, and that's who we are. We're the Suncats. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Dave, anything you'd like to add to that?
No, I think you pretty much nailed it. It's definitely a blue collar ball that we're always looking to put together. I mean, I'm an Oakland A's fan, so that's kind of always about what they call green collar, but it's blue collar mentality. Get out there, get after it. Players that want to get out there and endure that grind to achieve their goals, and respect the game, just like you said. Play it like it's supposed to be played. Play it to win, play it hard, and go from there.
And that's something that, again, very, very evident. I went out to you guys' practices, I think about a year ago now, and I was like, this is like a dream. I'm used to going out to baseball practice. It's like controlled chaos, and kids are running around and people are crying, and then I come out to your guys' practice, and it's like this is like military style, like, and not from like in a negative standpoint, but just like cold, just get your stuff done in line. Like it was very, very impressive, the organization that you guys have, and then again, how your players respect it, and they don't, it's not lip service. It's legitimately, I believe these things and I live these things out, and I don't just live these values out when the Suncats coaches are watching me. It's in my training, it's in my work I do at home, it's with my other coaches and instructors. So I do want to commend you guys on that, because it is very, very impressive. It's kind of another one of our talking points, and this might be a quick one, but I just want to give you an opportunity to introduce any of your other coaches. Obviously, we only have you two on this morning, but you have an amazing coaching staff. Is there any coaches you'd like to highlight as part of your staff?
Yeah, starting from the top, we have Dave Gutierrez, our 18 goal program, which is fairly new. Last year was the first time we had an 18 goal program. So Dave Gutierrez and Kelly Formosa, Dave's of course is the head coach, and Kelly's the assistant of the head. So, and then our 16 and under team, that's myself and Lisi Noriega. We work together. Lisi's an awesome individual and a really good influential coach. We have George Placencions with our other 16s, along with Annie Aldretti, and the second 16U team, we have Robert Gomez and Liz Ray. I'm trying to remember all these names off the top of my head. And then our 14U programs, we have Bruce Ma and his daughter, Kaylana Ma, and Kat. Our other 14s are younger ones. That's Kat Carasosa with Steve Daw. And then in our 12 and under is Coach Andalon with the 12s. So we're pretty excited. We're trying to develop young players and get them young, and we're looking forward to bringing some more coaches in so pretty soon. So we're making some moves right now, but in general, that's our staff right there. I think I don't want to leave out our admins, our administration people that do a lot of work in the background that people don't see, and to lead that charge is Aaron Apala, and it goes down to Angeles Fuentes, Melissa, Faga, and there's other people that do a lot of work in the background to make this work, of course.
I think that's definitely a commonality between the baseball organization and the building, Dub Baseball. It's a big family, a big group of just people who all believe in that mission and vision and want to do what's best for the players. And I've met almost all of your coaches, whether in person or vicariously, or watching them run practices, and their passion for the players and the passion of holding up to those three pillars you talked about is definitely a strong part of your coaching staff. So it's been awesome as we've kind of brought more and more people who are really passionate about getting players better and helping them achieve their goals into one place. It's a cool thing to see. All right, so next talking point is something that coaches typically aren't really good about. And I want to give you guys the freedom to brag about anything and everything, right? I think that first team, I've worked with a handful of players from that first team. I think, they're a great place to start as far as just achievements, program highlights, things that you guys are proud of your girls at going out and doing. Maybe that's probably maybe a better way of going about it is let's brag about your players a little bit. Anything that you'd like to, any highlights, anything you want to bring up?
Yeah, well, the 2019 team is, of course, we use them as they're the pillars of this whole program. They're out. This past season was their first year as a freshman in college. 14 of those players that were on the squad, all of them committed to Division I schools, all 14. 2015, when we came to Suncats, the first 3 of them committed verbal commitment, I think, as 8th graders or 9th graders. And then in 2016, we had 10 verbals in 2016. So with that class right there, it was just a really special class. And they're grinders, a never quit attitude. And they bought in. So when we first started the program, it was really hard for people to understand the direction we were going, because it was we were always traveling to LA, whether it was scrimmage games or friendlies or whatever it was. We'd go look for the best teams to play, and our goal was to get in that inner circle and play at the highest level. And those the families of the 2019 class took a chance and believed in the process and gambled and put their money down, and to be able to travel weekend after weekend. And I think that's what made it happen, man. And that's when other people started to believe it, saying, hey, you know what? It is possible. Kids can get verbal to a Division I school. They talk about, like, there's less than 1% of kids that go to play at Division I softball. And for that team, every single kid on that team to get verbally committed to Division I schools, it was really an eye opener, especially in Northern California, where like a lot of people like that hadn't been done during that time. And so it was pretty exciting to see within that first year, 2015 and 2016. With that year and a half, we already had like 16 girls verbal. So within the first year and a half. So, and that was because the foundation and the trailblazers of the 2019 class was able to start it off, and then it just kept going from there. So.
Cool. And I think at a certain point, if you have like one or two players, right, maybe you just got lucky that you have some, really, really talented players that walk into your program. But at a certain point, that scale tips, and it's like, okay, you got something figured out. Yeah, right. You have a coaching philosophy, and the way you develop the players is like there's something more to this than just finding some really talented players. So anything I know a really big one within the softball world is PGF. Qualifying for those tournaments. That's something that kind of became a regular thing for you guys, correct?
That is right. I mean, our standard is always we're playing Premier, point blank. Our goal is to play Premier. And if I remember one time one of our teams fell short, and I didn't accept the bid, and I was like, nope, we're going Premier, we ain't going. And that was kind of like the mindset we have. It's like, so since then, I think I know in 2015 we had sent the one team that we had, which is our original 2019s. In 2016, 2016 we sent that one team. And then 2017, we ended up getting more teams during that year. We qualified 4 teams to Premier Nationals. In 2018, we did another 4 to the Premier Nationals. And 2019, we had 3. And then this year, in January, we went out to the first qualifier in Florida, and we qualified. So I think, our overall record in qualifiers is probably like 22-2 maybe. There was one time we were like 16-0, and we're definitely a premier team, premier organization, I should say.
And that I think leads perfectly into that next talking point of, as you start making your way up the ranks, as you start playing against better teams, and I think kind of alluded to this earlier, and I've learned this through you guys, that softball in the Bay Area in Northern California, it's always, okay, we got to go down to SoCal, and we got to try and keep up with those players down there. And we there's some really talented teams that we want to go down there and we want to show that we belong and we can crush them. So within what I guess for about a year, maybe just short of a year of developing the partnership with the training center, bringing you guys in, getting your players into the facility, getting them access to, obviously I think being inside is really valuable. We talked about that a ton, depending on the timing of the year. And you guys had done almost a lot of your practices always obviously outside, and then some of your cage work was outside. So having that, but then over this course of probably the last 8 months, the amount of tools that you guys have access to is probably exponentially higher. And that's probably part of your focus of, okay, we need to continue, if our core belief is development, we need to continue to get our girls access to the best developmental tools. So Dave, you want to kind of hop on in here and kind of talk about how has it been partnering with the training center? How's it been getting practices?
Yeah, actually that does kind of tie in with some of the accolades and where we're going. Kind of like James was talking about our original 2019 team. All great programs, they've all kind of had a pioneer group, and that was it. And just really quick, just touch on that 2019 team. I believe it was 2016. They were ranked 4th in the nation through club rankings. That was a big one. But what they truly were ambassadors of the program, and showed the ones behind them, the mentality of what we wanted to do. So with that being said, us as a coaching staff and as a program has really developed from that team who's now in college. Now our 20s and 21s and our 22s, we're noticing that our players are even getting better and better as they go. Yes, they're athletic, but we believe that our philosophies are making them stronger just because we're learning every year how to develop these players better and better, which brings us to that, the training center where we're at right now. How's it been partnering with you, and ID3 and, Eric and Dub and the whole facility. I think it's been great, having softball, strength training, player development, all under one roof. It really gives like a total package to any athlete who's trying to excel to that next level. Really our athletes who are in our program, I mean, it's not just a place to go train. I mean, really with all the analytics, and I was just speaking with Ryan a little earlier about, the KVS and things like that. All the analytics that we have there with the Rap Soda for our pitchers, the hit tracks, the KVS, the blast, a complete assessment by you, Dan, on the ID3 side. I mean, you can really paint a really good picture of an athlete, of their strengths and weaknesses and how they can improve, and what that has done for us, and what we'll hopefully continue to do, or will continue to do, is help us improve our athletes by developing those individual programs. Find what it is that maybe is holding them back just a little bit, and unlock that power. That part's been really good. So for us, what we usually can't see with like the naked eye on their swing or their throw, having those analytics and a facility to be able to do those really helps us and propel our program forward. But on top of that, the partnership has also helped us with giving us a platform or facility to put on different clinics for catchers, throughout the week, who are specific, who are not just catching bullpens, but actually giving them a place so we can work specifically with them, work with, their footwork, their pop times, they're just overall mechanics, which I think a lot of times catchers kind of get thrown to the wayside. Hey, go catch some bullpens and work on your framing, and how important is it to really strengthen their arms, and then going back again with UID3, really helping a lot of our players with their arm strength and arm care, which is so vital because it'll take them right out of the game and put them behind if they do get injured. But now we're developing a pitchers program, from pitchers from the beginners to more advanced, all the way to college, to help them, get better at whatever it is they want to increase, whether it be their velocity, their spin, or just overall mechanics. So in general, the partnership is not only helping athletes in the area or region, but it's helping us as a program, because our athletes are benefiting from it. They're getting stronger from it. And it goes back to what I'm saying about our 2019 team, who didn't have the benefits of where we're at right now. And if I believe that if we had what we have right now with our 2019 team, they would have been even 10 times better, which brings me to the point of why their mindset of our program was one of the best things they brought, that blue collar mentality. So now what they've become great ambassadors of the program, and taught the mindset for the ones behind them who we expect them to be having when they're on the field or training. Now we can give them the place and the tools and help them to develop. So together, with all that, every year our athletes are getting stronger and getting better, which makes our program overall better. So, on top of that, having, baseball there, and one of the things bouncing off, hitting philosophies with the baseball side, it's great to finally go, hey, there is no baseball or softball swing. It's just a swing, and really understanding that those two things aren't different is very important, and trying to debunk a lot of those myths, is great. And again, having those analytics there really help us do that. So having the baseball side and those coaches to bounce ideas off is great. So in a sense, it's a true trifecta of having baseball, softball, strength training all together in one place. And really, there's really no other place in this region that has that, to be honest with you. So I'm pretty excited being part of that partnership. Unfortunately, during this COVID-19 time, we're kind of shut down. But once we get back up there, I think we're going to be going bigger, stronger, and better. So yeah, it's been working out really well.
Dan, I want to put in one thing on that there. I think that's one of the things that David just mentioned, that blending between the softball and the baseball worlds, it's happening all over the place. And it's one of those ones that a lot of the head baseball people, you're seeing it with the ABCA, you're seeing it with like Stick and Ball TV. They're pushing for that blending, because he's right. There's not a big difference. It's a swing. It's learning the way the body moves and helping people understand the best way to get the bat to the ball. And I think that's a great thing for us, is we can both take different ideas and blend it together. There's certain things that pitchers do in softball that hitters can't do in baseball. And it's one of those things that we can maybe learn something from and apply and be able to take some of that from them as well, and help our players get a little bit better as well with it.
And I think that's the part maybe I'm being just myself, it's awesome to walk into a building and be surrounded by a bunch of coaches that are like, I'm hungry to learn just as much as I try and get my players hungry to learn. And I care about them playing and them getting to the next level and them becoming the best versions of themselves. So I don't have a problem going and asking another coach, hey, like, can you help me with this? What's going on with this person's back hip? What's going on with their hands? Maybe getting another outside, unbiased, getting a baseball side, just bringing to the softball and vice versa. I think all of this is really, really valuable to the player, and it's been awesome having you guys as part of the TC and us as an entire kind of group. James, anything you want to kind of add to that talking point?
No, I'm excited. I know we barely joined TC during the fall, and this spring it was starting to take off with our softball side, and it's unfortunate that the COVID-19 thing hit, because we're starting to go hard, and but we haven't lost a beat. I know the vision's there. I really rely on Dave to kind of work with the ID or the TC staff and doing all the all the little stuff, all the technology stuff. So I'm not too up to date with all the tech stuff. I like to get on the dirt and just hit balls or coach and get competitive. And Dave's more of the kind of the computer savvy and all that kind of tech stuff. So I'm excited though. I had to kind of like step back and put my guard down and say, you know what, I got to learn. I need to learn this stuff. We need to take it to another level. And so being part of TC I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to learn myself all the aspects of the technology that's going on there. So
awesome. And I think, again, kind of bringing up the COVID-19 situation, us being closed down, I think, again, another perfect transition. James, where do you kind of see, and where do you see the kind of current landscape of softball in California? What are the future plans for the Suncats? Dave, I know you kind of brought up like catching courses, pitching less, trying to bring as many services to the players and have it all in one spot. Because I think that's even more so probably for your players versus some of the dub players. Dub players are a little spoiled where they literally can walk into a building and have, a really good coach for whatever facet they want to learn. Whereas a lot of your players are traveling all over town and extensive amounts of mileage put into their cars. So having it all in one spot, what's that current landscape looking like? What are you guys doing with your players currently? And then what are your kind of future plans for the Suncats?
I think currently we're doing Zoom calls. We're tapping into our each coach in our program is meeting with players at least once a week. We just created a YouTube channel where we're constantly feeding different drills, different things that the players can do during this time. And I think and that's with the training side. I think during this time too, we're trying to, work with you guys and trying to get, these numbers up for players to be able to train and get stronger, to get them ready for this upcoming season. And we're hoping, and what I foresee, and I've talked to Dave, and me and him, we talk every day. So I think with the softball side, man, it looks to me like during the summer, we may just stay in California. It's just too hard to predict right now, so it's not set in stone, but that's the look of it as of right now. And I'm not too sure. I know the softball and being in California is really it feels like we're going to be the last ones to be able to open up in California, but I can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow or next month, but I know for the Suncats, we'll definitely start locally. Whether it's traveling, doing probably in-house inner squads and stuff like that, starting in that format, and then slowly transitioning to maybe playing in Modesto or Stockton and staying in NorCal a lot. And then we'll see what happens after that, man. But definitely we'll be taking it slow and making sure everybody's safe. So.
And that again, it's probably the smartest way to go about it, because kind of like you're saying, things change literally by the hour. So
I don't know, Dave, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think we're gonna be crawling before we walk it back out there. And you're right. The California throughout the region is different regions of the country. Everyone's opening up differently. So we're gonna put safety first and follow CDC guidelines and state regulations and make sure that we help not, or excuse me, not aid to the problem of this virus situation, but really think about our players first. But he's right. We're lucky enough and we're fortunate enough to have the kind of program to have enough teams and great athletes where when we do get back out there, we can just stay within each other and friendly each other, and to make ourselves better. Going back to the whole philosophy, iron sharpens iron. I believe James had that on one of our shirts a long time ago, and it's true. That is one of the advantages of our program. We don't really have to go outside. We can stay within it. We have great pitchers, great hitters, great fielders, great catchers, great everything in every position, that the competitive side is always going to be there whenever we want it. So I think that's where we're going to start. And then, yeah, we'll venture out as it gets safer. The recruiting, James is working really hard on that side, and with all the rest of the coaches of getting the players seen how, with the analytic numbers and videos, that will take care of itself. I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, we're going to go with the whole crawl before you walk situation. Moving on.
Awesome. Well, I think that kind of wraps it up as far as the talking points that we wanted to hit. It's awesome getting you guys onto the podcast. I definitely think this is going to become a regular thing. I think there's a ton of things that we can break down and find a lot of similarities on the baseball and softball side, and then find some differences, and not just from a training or a playing standpoint, but I think also from a recruiting and dealing with coaches and working with players. And I think there's a ton that we all can learn from both sides. And then, one of the common themes in all of our coaching meetings is marrying the worlds and bringing them together, not creating division, so that the players can get the best from all of us. And we as coaches don't become the bottleneck to their development. They have all the tools they need to play the next level. So I just want to thank you guys for hopping on, this morning. And then I just want to give you an opportunity. Where can people find you as far as your website, social media, Instagram, Facebook? Where are you guys at?
Yeah, you can find us at our website, which is CaliforniaSuncats.com. We also have a Facebook page, California Suncats, and we also have our YouTube channel, which is Suncats Softball on YouTube. So you can find us in either location. In our YouTube channel, we have a lot of videos of training and even like individual videos for recruiting. We have a lot of our workouts there, practices, a lot of information on there, and along with our website as well. So that's where you can find us, or travel to Gilroy or Morgan Hill, you'll find us there too.
Awesome. Cool.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at DubBaseball, at ID3Training, and at Ozella Baseball. Thanks for joining us on the Talking Points podcast. Until next time, keep developing.